Hello, this is Ashley Kennedy with PremiumBeat.com, here to show you how to perform ripples, rolls, slips, and slides in Final Cut Pro 10. Now, before launching Final Cut Pro 10, I'd like to review each of these 4 maneuvers in Final Cut Pro 7, just so you know what we're talking about. So if we go over here to the tool palette, ripples and rolls are found right here. The keyboard shortcut for roll is R, and ripple is RR, and then right below that is slip and slide. Slip's keyboard shortcut is S, and slides is SS. Okay, so I'm just going to come over to this transition and press R to perform a roll, and we'll click on it, and as we drag to the right, the A side becomes longer, the B side becomes shorter, and as we drag to the left, the reverse happens. Now I'm going to press RR to perform a ripple, and we'll go ahead and click on one side of the transition, and I'll go ahead and drag this to the right, and as you see right now, the only clip being affected is the B side clip. The A side remains unaffected, but because the B side clip is becoming shorter in this instance, the entire duration of the sequence is shorter, which you can see here when we zoom out. You can also perform a ripple on the A side, and same thing happens, only the A side becomes shorter, but again, we are shortening or lengthening this clip, and everything else kind of ripples along with it. Now to perform a slip, I'm going to press S, and you can see here that I have a new icon. I'm just going to click here, and as I drag back and forth, I am changing the contents of my shot. My shot itself is not changing position, and it's not changing duration. Basically, I'm just using the handle of my shot to find a different part of it. And you can see in what used to be the canvas, but is now my slip display, that I'm seeing the first frame and the last frame of my new clip. So wherever I release, the clip did not move, but I'm able to control the content within the clip. And finally, slide, which I'll get into by pressing SS, allows me to slide this shot back and forth between the two adjacent shots, which you can see going on here. And what I'm doing is changing the position, but not the duration or the content. And wherever I let go, that's where the shot is edited. And now we have a longer A clip and a shorter C clip, and our B clip just moved over to the right. So just to review on how to perform ripples, rolls, slips, and slides in Final Cut Pro 7, now let's go ahead and open Final Cut Pro 10 so we can see how to perform these 4 maneuvers in that application. Okay, so here we are in Final Cut Pro 10 to look at how to perform ripples, rolls, slips, and slides in this application. And instead of using 4 different tools like we did in Final Cut Pro 7, we're really only going to use 2 different tools. And they're found right here. We're going to basically stay in select mode and trim mode here. So in select mode, if I go ahead and click on a transition, this automatically puts me into a ripple. So if I drag to the left, I'm affecting only the A side clip by shortening it or lengthening it, and everything else ripples to accommodate. Same thing on the B side. I can shorten or lengthen that B side clip like so. So ripples are very easy. Now if we go ahead and switch our main tool, which I can do so by selecting trim from this menu, or as I like to do, just to press T on the keyboard. I now have the trim tool, and when I click on a transition, I'm going to get myself into a roll. And this behaves just like a roll in Final Cut Pro 7. I'm basically rolling the transition between the A side and the B side clip. The A side gets longer, the B side gets shorter, and vice versa. If I then go ahead and click on this clip, I can perform a slip. And a slip, as you remember, is changing the content, just not its position or duration. So I'm going to drag to the left and to the right, and I think this visual display of what's going on is a lot more intuitive than that in Final Cut Pro 7. But basically you see that I'm accessing my shots handles, I'm changing the content to see exactly what part of the clip is going to be edited in the timeline. Notice that by default we do not see the first and the last frame of the slip edit, which is really helpful. If you would like to show that, you certainly can. You can go up to Final Cut Pro, Preferences, and then under Editing, go to Show Detailed Trimming Feedback. And now when we slip, you can see that we see the first and last frame of the clip that we're slipping. Okay, so that's really helpful to change that display. And then finally, slide, which is changing a shot's position but not its content or duration, is achieved by simply holding down the Option key and then dragging back and forth. So now we are dragging the B clip back and forth between the A and the C clip, and the handles are letting out and letting in respectively, and wherever we let go, that's where the shot is edited. That's a slide. So I think you'll agree that ripples, rolls, slips, and slides are a little bit more intuitive, and the visual display is a little bit more user-friendly as far as what's going on with each of these types of edits. All of these edits, however, are terrific timeline editing maneuvers which allow you to tweak the transition points once your material is edited in the timeline. So I do encourage you to use these tweaking mechanisms a lot to make sure every single frame in your show is perfect. Okay, thanks for joining us. Make sure to check back at PremiumBeat.com for more exciting video tutorials in both Avid and Final Cut Pro. This is Ashley Kennedy with PremiumBeat.com.